Of course, I have to deal with communicable diseases sometimes. However, most of the time, people don't even give me a heads up when there is one. So, most of the time, I don't even know. I'm sure I've picked up thousands of people that have had some sort of a disease, and I never even knew about it. Some of the more common ones I'll hear is hepatitis or COVID or influenza. Sometimes I hear HIV. But personal protective equipment, I'm not too worried about those ones really ever. There are 4 that bother me personally. I'm sure other folks in the industry, it doesn't bother them. Maybe it does. I don't know. But first one is, and I don't hear it very often at all. It's very rare. And that's probably one of the reasons why it freaks me out, is the bubonic plague. It's so rare that I think I only remember maybe 2 or 3 times of hearing about it, and they can treat it now, I guess, so I shouldn't be too worried about it, but it's just so rare. And then when I hear it, it just like triggers something in my brain. It's like, oh, that's still around. So that one bothers me a little bit. Staph infections are another one. They are everywhere in hospitals and nursing homes, so I'm always really careful when I go into those places. Yep, you don't want MRSA. It's non-curable as far as I know. The third one is tuberculosis. Haven't seen it too much, but there's been quite a few times. And it's airborne, so that's one thing that freaks me out, because if you move somebody and then they purge or something like that, then that stuff can be airborne, and I don't want to end up with tuberculosis, so I'm always pretty careful of that. And then the last one, which is the one that freaks me out the most, it's called CJD, or Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. You can get it from tainted beef, and I believe, and if anybody knows, they can correct me if I'm wrong, it's transmittable through the brainstem fluid and sometimes spinal fluid. Maybe I'm a little wrong on that, but I know it's not super easy to contract, because you have to come in like direct contact with that, but some sort of fluid or something in the brainstem or brain or spine. But somebody told me it's one of those diseases where you don't really know you get it for quite a while, and then all of a sudden you start having a lot of symptoms. And as near as I can tell, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this one also, but it's kind of like sort of like the human form of mad cow disease. And I know other people in the funeral industry who are like not worried about it at all. And then I know some other people who are like very adamant that you are extra careful because this person has Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. So, yeah, those are the ones that I'm worried about. We got to deal with them. Potential risks are always, something could happen. So you just got to wear personal protective equipment and be careful. And over the years of doing this, you learn tips and tricks and how to move people certain ways and cover certain things so that you can avoid a lot of stuff like that. But, yep, diseases, huge part of the job. Peace.